Hey, you want to know which revenue share companies to completely avoid? I'm going to break it down for you in this super short video of what to look for. I'm not going to name companies by name. They know who they are. You know who they are. I know who they are. And what we're going to do is break it all down for you real quickly on some do's and don'ts that make a good revenue share company worth exploring and which ones aren't based on what we're going to talk about. Let's jump right in. All right, so as a reminder, Isaac Guzman with Real Estate CEOs, and I'm excited to talk about this topic because a lot of people talk to me about, hey, my brokerage and other brokerages, and everyone has their different reasons for why they like the companies. Now, I'm going to get into Revshare. I do not believe that anybody should choose a brokerage based on Revshare alone, and so that's why I have to put that right up in the front. I think that if you're focused on selling real estate, that's what you should be focused on. That should be your core thing as a real estate agent, and maybe down the road, it makes sense to start tapping into some of those rev share opportunities. So let's break down what makes a good revenue share company and what doesn't. And the first thing I need to get out of the way right here, big block letters need to be on this video right here. And it is this: it does not matter about payouts. Who has the biggest payout is not the best thing in and of itself. Now, it is a factor that makes it a good revenue share program, but that in and of itself is not something to hang your hat on. Trust me, there's lots of revenue share companies that pay out a good, significant amount of first, second, third, down to 5 levels or whatever it might be. But that is just a small portion of what really matters, because here's the thing, and I'll cut to the end and then get back to the beginning, is this: if people aren't coming easily and they're not staying, who cares? Who cares how much, oh, I'll get more dollars per person at this brokerage? Well, if nobody wants to join you there because they have ridiculous structures, high fees, impossible to deal with, no additional value besides the revenue share opportunity and being in early, or hey, that person looks like me and I look like them, and so therefore we should be partnered at this brokerage. That all breaks down. Doesn't matter how much they offer to pay out, people will not stay because that is a nonsense value proposition. Okay, just going to throw that out there. I'm usually not this brash, but it's just the truth. So here's the thing you got to think about. So one, it's not all about the big payouts. Two, it's got to be about how can you have a wide open front door, meaning it's easy to recruit people to, because not because there's any gimmicks or anything like that, but because it's easy to understand why someone would move over. For me, LPT is a great example of a wide open front door. No sign up fee, no monthly fees. You get to choose your compensation plan. Boom. That's a no-brainer for most agents in and of itself. Then you add on free listing marketing and all kinds of other things that they got, the Ascend initiative. I mean, God, I can go on and on and on for days. Make it a no-brainer offer. That keeps a wide open front door. But what you also need is a really narrow back door, meaning retention. How are they retaining people? Well, people tend not to leave companies that don't overcharge, that actually have value, that give them free marketing tools, right? So what is it that the company is doing that makes somebody say, you know what, I don't know where there's going to be a better deal than this, where I'm going to get the most bang for my buck? That doesn't necessarily mean who's the cheapest, by the way. Okay. But it might mean it's the combination of who's the least expensive while also giving a ton of value. Right. Again, you know where my loyalty lies. And I think they do it better than anybody else. But this is the thinking I went through. Because here's the truth: if you have a wide open front door, also a wide open back door, people are just going to keep walking out of your life and out of your business. Because the reality is it has just as much to do with retention as it does to do with recruiting. You got to think about that. Retention and recruiting. Retention is just the other side of recruiting. If you don't have any retention, you're not going to have revenue share. So who cares what the payouts are, and who cares how attractive it is at the beginning? Last two things on this. One, you want the company to have tools that actually help agents sell more real estate. Super simple. Does the company have tools and resources, things like training, things like marketing, things like tech stacks, things like dialed in processes around marketing to generate more business? Do they have actual tools to help agents sell more real estate? If they do, then you're heading in the right direction. Because again, I know this is a rev share video, but the truth is, what revenue you're going to share if these agents aren't selling real estate? What revenue you're going to share if these agents are selling real estate at another brokerage 30 days from now? You got to think about that. What's going to keep them productive? Because when people are productive, they tend not to leave the brokerage because things are going well. Now, the last thing, stay away from companies where you feel like you have to make some kind of promise. If you have to make some kind of promise, what you're really doing, like, hey, I sell this coaching package, but if you join me for my brokerage, you can get it for free. Well, that's great, right? But why do you feel like you have to make those promises? Now, not everybody who does that feels that way. That's just a good business practice. So I'm not knocking all of them. But there are plenty of people who go, well, I have to make these big promises. So that way people will join under me and come to the brokerage. Well, what are you compensating for? You're compensating for the fact that the brokerage doesn't have a good model. That's what you're compensating for. I've seen it too often. Don't go to a brokerage where you have to compensate. Where I'm at, nobody promises anything. We're not even allowed to, but let alone, I don't have to. And it's because of a friend of mine called me out on it. He goes, you know what's interesting? I just got a call from so-and-so at this other company, and they're trying to fly me out to do this thing and blah, blah, blah. And I'm so insulted because they were, it's a $4,500 to $6,000 thing that they were going to pay for me to go to, all inclusive, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, they think I'm that dumb, that somehow $5,000-$6,000 is going to change my mind. He goes, but you know what the most interesting part that I learned about that, Isaac? He goes, I just realized you didn't make me a single promise. All you did was show me the model, and it made so much sense. I moved my entire brokerage over. That's powerful. That gets you good long-term revenue share. Is it the most per person? Probably not. But is it the most sustainable? Absolutely. So hopefully you got a ton of value out of this video. If you want to learn more about how we're building revenue share the right way, at least in my opinion, here's what you do. You go into the comments, not the comments, but actually go ahead, drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts, right? Good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. Heard it all. Go into the description below, click a link. That link will take you to my calendar. Let's grab some one-on-one time. I'll walk you through what we're doing. If you like it, great. If not, no big deal. See you on the other side. Until next time, keep crushing it in real estate.